guys, I'm Joe with BLP Racing Products here in Orlando, Florida. We want to go over some of the things that we do manufacture here that you may not know we do. We do a lot more than just build carburetor parts. So one of the things we wanted to show you is some of the carburetor tech gauges that we manufacture for the industry, and also give you some insight on how to use these tools properly. We have had questions where, or maybe some issues where somebody may have been using the tools forcefully or what have you. These tools are all designed to go or no go. They're pretty simple in their design. They either go or they don't go. There's no need to wrench or push or forcefully use these tools. So we're going to go over this particular kit. Is the 7864 HP. It's designed for the 80541 650 crate carburetor classes to help you, determine if you've gone too far in your modifications, or whether or not a carburetor you may have bought from someone is a little off, or if you have a tech issue or what have you. It certainly can help you, rectify the situation and know where you've gone wrong. We'll start off here with the very first tool, the Venturi tool. That's part number 78621P, and that's for the HP design. Real simple tool to use. Basically, it was designed to go or no go. So you lay it on top, it goes over the booster, as obviously it'll sit down. If it slides down even halfway, obviously you got a problem. But it will not go all the way down. It will not go through. It will not stop if the Venturi and the booster has been designed right. You can also tell if maybe there's been oblonging or anything like that, obviously when you look around it too. So that's some things that you can look for when you're checking the carburetors. Very easy to use. Once again, there's no reason to force on this. I've had people that say, well, I tried to force it down. Well, that doesn't really do anything except open this up or create issues on your tool. And we work really hard to make sure the tolerances on these tools are very accurate. So we want to make sure you don't get too forceful with it. But that's one of the easiest tools to use. Very simple, makes it very easy to go with. Okay, the second tool we're going to look at is the 78607. That's the booster height gauge. Lay it on top. Obviously, it can touch, but it can't. That's about as far. If the boosters are lifted up or anything, then obviously you have a problem. You go right across. You can do it on both sides. Some people choose to do it that way, but that's not how we do it. It's meant to go just from side to side on each one, primary and secondary sides, just like that. If it touches, obviously you're on a borderline, but if it lifts this gauge up and does not want to seat properly, you have a problem, or the boosters have been raised, or maybe they're tilted. Obviously there's many other things that could cause that, but for this purpose, this carb is legal. Okay. Next one we're going to show you how to use is the 78594. That's the booster length gauge. It's meant for measuring all the straight leg boosters. It's very simple. I do have one recommendation when using this tool. It hooks on underneath and comes up here. As you can tell, it does not want to go over. There's no reason to pull it over, to force it over. If it touches and doesn't want to go over, that's it. There's no reason. Once again, if you try to pull it over, you will do damage to your booster, and eventually this is going to go over. Next on the list is the 78596. This is the bottom OD booster gauge, okay? What this is going to measure is the bottom of the OD of the booster, make sure there's no large tapers or what have you. And what I'm talking about here, you do not have to take the base plate off to do this. For this video purpose, we have them separate so that you can see the differences. But basically open up the base plate, stick it through the base, and measure on the bottom of the booster. As you can tell, it will not fit. If it goes over, it's illegal. It's that simple. Okay? We check all four. It does not go over. The carburetor is legal from the bottom of the booster. That's checking the bottom. So now we've checked the length of the booster. We've also checked the bottom of the booster, and we checked the height of the booster. So those are three critical areas where some performance gains can be made. But once again, you've checked them. You make sure that your carburetor is legal. We've also checked the Venturi, so you're legal there. One of the other tools that we haven't used yet is our 78595. This is your booster checking gauge, which checks the ID and the OD of the booster, okay? This side here will check the OD of the booster. Once again, same premise, go or no go. As you see, it sits up there. There's no need to push or press on it. The tolerances on these gauges are tight, and we try to keep it that way, so no reason to push or pull on them. It goes over, and some boosters, obviously these are castings, you will have some variances where like this one felt like it wanted to go over, but as you can see, she's legal. Now if I forced it, she may go down even deeper, but there's no reason for that. You can tell if I take it off and put it back on, she is definitely legal. Same with these, there we go, and all 4 of these boosters check right, so we're in pretty good shape here. That does that. The other side is a pin gauge that will measure the ID of the booster to make sure that you haven't opened these up to increase airflow through the booster. And as you can see, this has not been modified. So that's a good way to check your carburetor and make sure that you're good to go. The final gauge that's in this particular kit is the throttle shaft and base and throttle plate thickness. This will measure the shaft and plate thickness. All you need to do is put it over top. There's no need to push it. If it goes over, obviously the shaft or the plate has been thinned. And once again, no reason to force it, but it's fairly simple, easy to use, and ready to go. We do make these kits for all the 750, 4779s, or the HP versions, as well as the 4412 kits for checking those. It's a very good tool. They're usually around $200 to $250 depending on which gauges you get. You can buy the gauges individually. We certainly don't have to make you buy a kit. You can buy whichever. You may have a kit and you want to redo your setup. We will sell the gauges individually for you. They all come with instructions. And once again, this is why we're recording these videos, to help you get better insight on how to use these tools and better do that. Once again, I'm Joe from BLP. Thank you for watching.